Light a cigarette just to burn it out. The whole room's filled with smoke and doubt. Your lies sound like poetry. Won't you sing pretty songs to me?
So we're moving to a spot where I found internet. I'm excited. So this is the second island that I've moved to. I shouldn't have talked. I made that finch fly away that was making that beautiful sound. This is a deep pull up, so I don't need a gangplank or anything. The land is almost even with the boat. And last night was one of those thunderstorms where there's no wind, so it just hangs over you and it goes for hours, and the thunder was shaking the boat. If you've ever been in a boat during a thunderstorm, it's, every once in a while, and when you're in a house, the whole house will shake, but when you're in a boat, it vibrates through the water and it shakes the heck out of the boat. The boat actually vibrates. Both the animals hid underneath the bed. I almost hid underneath the bed, it was so loud. So this is called Internet Island in my mind because it's the only island that I can get internet in this whole creek. So I'm gonna take you inside here. A lot of these islands are like this, where the first few feet are hard to get through and you have to fight your way through, and then on the inside, because of the shade of the canopy, there's less plants, and that's how this one is. However, super beautiful in here. The break between the canopy top and then the lower canopy, the shade trees that are on the ground, that is a cool little area where the fog kind of gets stuck. The light rays from the sun kind of shine through there perfectly. It's a cool little area. And the lower canopy is about 4 feet tall, so you can see over it. And then when you lay down on the ground, you can see under it, so it's kind of cool. There's a few trees. That's a river toy. There's a tree down here, a maple tree I want you guys to see. It fell down, but it fell down when it was underwater. So it still is attached to the trunk and still growing. It's really cool. Part of it is. I'm gonna take some still pictures of it. But look at this branch. And it's a maple tree. It's so cool. You can tell from the trunks on the larger, older trees that there are years where this island's completely underwater, up to 2 or 3 feet above the water. Just from the bark, you can see. Every tree has it. But it can't be year-round, and it can't be very often, because these trees wouldn't have made it if it was... I mean, they're oaks and elms and birches. Birch would probably make it. And cypress would, but not oaks and elms and locusts. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful island. She just went out there and like swatted his butt while he's been laying out there for about an hour. And she's like, why are you not playing with me? That's so funny. It's taken her almost a year and a half. Well, a year with him. He's a year and a half years old. He is 1.5 years old, but I've owned him for a year. So it's taken her a year to get used to him, but she's used to him. We're just watching those fishermen. Just keeping a close eye on them. Cricket does not know they're there. So I'm making another batch of coffee, and then I'm gonna head upriver. Actually, it's downriver. I'm gonna head back towards the marina. There's an island near the marina that I'm gonna stay at. I've never stayed tied up to it. I've anchored out there, but I've never stayed tied up to there. It's going to be tomorrow's going to be 15 to 20 mile an hour winds during the whole day. So I want to not be here because when I've been here and it was that way, the winds come through really crazy in here, and I don't want to be part of that. So I'm going to go to a place where I know is protected from the two sides that the wind is going to come from, and I'm going to tie up. So we're just taking off from the internet island, the only island that has internet in all of Cub Creek. So we come here, we hang out, we download our movies for the evening. Yeah, whatever. It's gonna be bad weather, so I'm gonna take off and I'm gonna head back to an island near the marina so I can make a grocery run tomorrow morning. And avoid some bad wind, which in here, wind is kind of not a good thing. Alright, we are on the last turn to get out of here. That was the original island I stayed on. It's under a lot of the beach I was on is underwater right now. Ooh, look who just jumped out. Wants to know what's going on. I love it. Yeah, I'm gonna turn some music on and spend 3-4 hours going upriver. So both the entrance in here are under 2 feet or under 3 feet deep. That's why you only get some random fishermen here and there that either know the way in here or have the motor that can come up, which is great. I love it. And I'm glad that my boat, I can comfortably drive with the motor trimmed up in 2 feet of water, and nothing happens with the boat. So it gets me into places where most people don't go.
The things I've done for foolish pride, the me that's never satisfied, the face that's in the mirror when I don't like what I.
You want me to open the window over by the bed? Okay. No, I should open that window for him. They're so cute. They're just watching the world go by from their home. This is awesome. So I've crossed one big boat that made a big wake, and other than that, one speedboat. Everybody else has been fishing and just sitting there. It's been a really calm trip. Alright, so River's got his beer and he's the captain. I'm gonna go hang out in front. You drive, buddy. So this is Roberts Creek, and the entrance was too low for me to ever get in here until recently. There's been about 2 feet of added water to this area for summer pooling, and it's allowed me to get into places I typically wasn't allowed to. I wasn't able to before. So Yeah, we're gonna go right down here to the left, and that's where the creek kind of breaks away to the Tennessee River. So this is Roberts Creek. It's about 5:30 in the morning. River and I are gonna go head over to that island. In fact, right there, I'm gonna zoom into it. There's a little spot right there where there's no trees and you can get into it. So what I've found recently is that with the water this high, number one, I can get into places that I couldn't get into before. But the shoreline's more of an issue now. It's harder to find spots where you can actually even get in. Look at how tight I had to fit in between these baby cypress trees. And then when you do get in there, you know, you almost feel like you couldn't go on a shore because of how thick and lush the vegetation is. But what I found is that once you get past the first 3 feet of the shoreline, it actually thins out inside the woods a little bit. I'll show you that on a couple different islands here. Just been looking for a place to kind of come in onto this cliff. I want to climb this cliff and see how it is in there. And I think it's probably the best spot. We'll see. A couple of things are standing out to me. Number one, the moss on the rocks here is, is amazing. The rocks just coming out of everywhere is pretty cool. There's just little cliffs everywhere. It's gorgeous. And then there's a lot of fallen trees. There's a lot of downed trees in here. Like if you look all the way up here, the floor is littered with them. So something must have happened here at some point. Here, Riv. Come on, catch up. Best exercises for a dog, if you want a strong back legs and front legs and a really strong neck, is playing fetch but down a cliff as steep as a hill as you can find, where they're running up and down it. It's just it really like doubles the size of the dog in the course of like 6 months. It was a bad throw, left-handed, but you get the point. Tennis ball. You throw a tennis ball down here, it'll go all the way down the hill before the dog catches it and brings it back up. Oh, if you do that 10 times, your dog's done for the day. Perfect. Right? He's celebrating that stick. He's happy with that stick. You want to chase it again? Here. No, you don't touch it. You're going to get in trouble. Let's see if I can get it to go way down. That's more of a cliff. If he comes back with that, I'll be amazed. Oh, there you got it. Good boy. Look at you. Yeah, tell me that dog's not strong. Come on. Holy shit. Good boy. Yeah, you are. Good boy, you're a good boy. Yes, you are. Oh, yes, you are. Good boy. Alright, let's go for a boat ride. No? More fetching? Okay. Hey, River. Here he comes. It's probably his 10th time up this hill. He's getting tired. Look at him. He's slacking. Come on, buddy. Double time. Put some effort into it. Get up here. Look at him. He's tired. He's going to sleep good. I got a Lawrence of Arabia. I watched half of it this morning while making coffee and kind of hanging out with the cat and dog out front. and fishing. And it got to the intermission, so there's another hour and a half left. We're going to go home and he's going to sleep while I watch that movie is what's going to happen. The sun showed its face right over there, up in the corner, and then just bam, fogged out. Now I can't even see where I'm supposed to leave. So I'm gonna stay here for a couple hours. I was gonna leave early in the morning, but I'm gonna stay here till I can see where I'm going. Look at these cute little yellow finches that have been eating over here. Where is he? There he is. There's two of them. Now it's an hour later and I can't even see across the little creek here. It looks like we're going to be spending the morning here. I'm probably going to make some breakfast and some more coffee. Yeah. Alright, we're going to go outside here on Roberts Creek. And we're going to tie up on an island that I've been to before. I walk river on. We're going to stay there, make some coffee. And then we're going to... Gosh, the river looks so calm. You see how nice the Tennessee River looks out there? Look at it. It's still enough that there's reflection. Alright, change of plans. We are not going... Yeah, I'm going to go down to Eagle Creek. Yeah, I'm going to go down to Eagle Creek. Because then I can get the sun coming up and I can get a nice little drive, half an hour drive along the Tennessee River. Calling an audible. Look at that. Look how pretty that river looks right now. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to add some gas before I start heading down the river. I never want to run out on the river. I've been putting my plank up here and it fits really well because these two notches, it makes it so it can't slide. It's actually been working really well. Probably looks weird to people when I drive by, but yeah, there's absolutely no wind. So yeah, I'm gonna put some gas in the tank and then we're gonna head down the river a little bit. Find a nice place to beach and let river off and cricket. What a beautiful morning. That's where we just came from. So all of this is considered Roberts Creek. And you can go down there and take a left and go up it a pretty long ways. And then it connects back with the Tennessee River. Now, you've seen me on this island before. Probably looks very different now that it has leaves and everything. This is not some creek. This is not some tiny little lake. This is the entire Tennessee River is crystal perfect reflection, crystal clear reflection of trees. It's so still right now. I'm absolutely amazed by it. I've gotten a few questions about insulating the boat and whether or not I'm going to put a solar system. Why don't I have a solar system on the boat? So my view on a couple of things. One, the intent of this boat is not for me to live in it forever. The intent of this boat is for me to spend so next year when I come back down here, it's going to be in August, and I'm going to take this down to the Gulf of Mexico, and it may take me that whole winter, or if I find a lot of little creeks to go in, like I found up here the whole way down, it'll take me long. I'll go right into the summer, and I'll do it for the next year. So, but my goal is not to live in this boat. In fact, I'll probably, once I get down to the Gulf, my goal is to do the major rivers in the world with whatever boat fits that river. This boat is perfect for what I'm doing here. I mean, it's a moving house. You can't, it doesn't get any more comfortable than this. But there are certain parts of the Missouri and the Mississippi where I would want a faster boat, because it's miles and miles and miles and miles between anything realistic that's interesting to look at on that river. So I might have a completely different boat to do that, is what I'm saying. My thought is to do a different boat with each river. I know that you would need a specific boat for the Amazon that you would not need for the Tennessee River. So, yeah. A lot of people don't know that you can go from the Great Lakes by way of either the Mississippi or by way of the Tennessee to get to the Gulf. And where they come out is they're pretty close to New Orleans. So they're actually pretty close to each other where they come out. To me, the Tennessee River is significantly more interesting because of the water levels. It's not straightened, and it has a lot of floodwaters on every direction and nature preserve, whereas the Mississippi is like at this point, it's commercial. It's a straight river. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. And then the other thing is, people ask about solar. I have a very expensive solar setup for my RV, and I love it. I love the fact that my RV just takes care of the refrigerator, and I don't have to think about propane or anything. It just does the refrigerator. I like watching movies in the woods at night and stuff like that, so having a TV and everything is, I need it on my RV. Here, I have found that I'm going to need to run a heater or run a air conditioner at some point during the day, which means I'll be using a generator for a couple hours no matter what. So I don't know that it would benefit me to spend a couple $1,000s on nice batteries and a solar setup. I have an older one from my older boat that I'm going to bring down here. It's 10 years old. I've used it to live off grid before. It's 640 watts panel. It's not the best, most efficient, but it's a large wattage panel. And then it's I have a couple of 100 amp hour lithium batteries that go with it, and a 1500 watt inverter. I'm gonna bring that, and that's gonna make it so I can watch TV and run the heater overnight without ever running the generator. But none of that is ever gonna run an air conditioner. And at some point, and I'm not gonna let my cat sit here and pant. So at some point, when it gets hot, we'll be running a generator for 2 hours from like 11 till 1 o'clock or 11 till 2 o'clock every single day, regardless of whatever I spend on solar. So my actual belief is that people should be focused more on generators. I bought my generator for under $500, and I've lived with it for 2 years now and done one oil change. And it has become, my life. I mean, that's how I do everything. So the one thing I would say to people is that when you go, you think, I want a really quiet one, and I want it to be light so I can move it around myself. I'll be honest with you, if it doesn't have a 30 amp or a 50 amp breaker, don't buy it. Just buy one that can run an air conditioner or run your whole RV, and if it's a little heavy, so be it. And if they're all pretty loud once they're under load. So you're gonna listen to a generator no matter how much. Yeah, you're gonna hear it no matter what. The other thing is, when your air conditioner is running, your air conditioner is louder than most generators inside your house or whatever. So that's another aspect of it that I don't think people realize. So I'll show you a picture of my generator. The main difference is that it's a little louder and a lot heavier than the normal ones that you would see people have in an RV park or what have you. But unlike those, it has a 30 amp plug. So that I can plug my RV right into it. So Champion Global Power Equipment. There you go.
I just think that that setup is better than having. I've even seen people buy two expensive quiet generators and tie them together so that you can get a 30 amp plug into them. To me, why are you spending $5,000 when I'm spending 500 and that mine's maybe a little bit louder and it does the same exact thing and lasts just as long? I don't understand it, but that's my view on it. The other thing about solar and electricity that I said about a couple of times on my channel, I believe if you just have a plug-in USB light bulb and that is it on your boat, and then you don't drive your boat at night, um, or you have a pull string motor that starts like a pull string like mine does, I think that's the best bet. Just don't use energy, don't need energy, don't have anything to do with energy. And that's going to be the cheapest, best way to do it and the less drama as far as problems that come up. So, all you really need is a light bulb and you need something to charge your phone, which honestly is like a USB solar panel. One of my closest friends travels around the United States in her car, and she has a little solar panel that charges her DVD player and her phone. And she lives, a amazing life that honestly I can't compare. I compare her life to everyone else's, and she has more. She's a mountain climber. I mean, she hikes up mountains, so she has more beauty and mystique in her daily routine and life than anyone I know. And she's living off of this tiny little 5 amp solar panel with no battery. She doesn't have a battery. It's just charging her phone and charging her DVD player, and that's her life. It's amazing. I'd like to get that way, and I'd like my next couple of boats and my next ventures down rivers to be with less and less things until I'm at the point where my dog and my cat are in a kayak or in this dinghy and we're traveling around the world in this little tiny boat just setting up a camp every night. Would be perfect. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Sorry I was a little long-winded, but we went to 3 different rivers. The one I'm in now is the beginning to Possum Creek, the one I'm parked on right now. Yeah, so we'll see you next week. I appreciate you watching.